In this video, we'll connect FastAPI to a real database using SQLModel. We'll build the same basketball player API as in the last video, but this time backed by a real database. We'll create, read, update, and delete players, and I'll explain how the database session manages these interactions. SQLModel is designed specifically for FastAPI. It combines SQL Alchemy for database access and Pydantic for data validation, using a single model definition. With plain SQL Alchemy, you usually define your data twice, once as a database model and again as a Pydantic schema for validation and responses. That separation is powerful, but it also means more boilerplate and more places to keep in sync. With SQLModel, the same class is used for both. That means we can describe our data once and use it for the API and the database without hiding what's happening under the hood. First, we create a database engine. This defines how our application connects to the database. For this example, we'll use SQLite, but the same structure works for Postgres or MySQL. Next, we define our player model. This model represents a basketball player in the database and also acts as the validation schema for incoming requests. We define an ID field as the primary key, along with a name, a team, and points per game. Because SQLModel is built on Pydantic, FastAPI automatically validates incoming data. If a request doesn't match this structure, FastAPI rejects it with a clear error response. Now we create the database tables. This runs once when the application starts and ensures the schema exists. Now let's build the API endpoints, starting with creating a player. To interact with the database, we use a session. Think of a session as a single conversation with the database. We use a with block to open this conversation. Inside, we add the new player object, commit the transaction to save it, and refresh it to get the generated ID. When the block ends, the session closes automatically. This ensures that every request is handled safely and connections aren't left open. Next, we read data from the database. We open a session again, but this time we use it to select all players currently stored. Updating a player follows the same pattern. We use the session to fetch the existing record, update the fields, and commit the changes. Finally, we add a delete endpoint. This removes a player from the database cleanly. After adding the endpoints, make sure to install SQLModel with pip and launch Uvicorn to start the server. We can test all of this using the built-in documentation. No extra setup is required. We can create, read, update, and delete players directly from the browser and immediately see the database reflect those changes. That's FastAPI with a real database using SQLModel. Thank you for watching, and if you would like more topics related to FastAPI, leave a comment, press like, and subscribe. See you next time.